hold on. And before you move on, you're talking and you're referencing using the blockchain and crossing through different platforms in which you can use different blockchain technologies. But and you referenced smart contracts briefly, but what are some of the more popular uses of blockchain, and why is it more beneficial for a company to use the blockchain technology in the Web 3.0 versus doing something traditionally?
Doing traditional, there's no such word called traditional. There is a word called Web 1 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. Now we're making our name called Web 3 guys. That's because we are more focused in Web 3.0. The reason is different is Web 1.0 for reading only.
Right.
You read, you go type in Tony, whatever company's name, boom, you can search, you read. That's already very good.
Was that when you would get the floppy disks at Target that had the AOL Running Man and they gave you?
Yes. Yes.
You had to unplug the dial-up.
Yes.
Plug
Yes.
it in.
And floppy disk.
Yeah.
I remember
Or later on, be a little advanced called CD.
Yep. So 1.0 is just you can
search
go in
only,
and
read
you can
only.
read.
2.0 interactive.
Yep.
And also involve mobile. They can talk to you, you can talk to them, and you have more interactive. And then also mobile. Don't forget, mobile changed the world.
Yeah.
3.0, you basically is try to be decentralized, not to control by Amazon, not to control by Google, not to control by Facebook. It try to decentralize, and you are your own web, your own portal. You are your own Facebook in the future. So that's why 3.0 try to decentralize, and then people do not take Tony's information and sell or do advertisement, make money. Although you go to Facebook, go to Google are free. No. It's not free. You sold your identity. You sold your
That's how
information.
We sold our soul to Google.
Yes.
Google knows everything.
Besides your body, they own you everything.
Oh, they own that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The way they're able to own that is because of the server farms and them hosting a good majority of the platforms.
And they literally own our brains. Like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Google. I don't know if this is true, right? But the rumorville is that they hire people that can figure out algorithms for like how to interact the website so that you can have dopamine and serotonin releases similar to like you would get hits of cocaine or hits of any drug. I mean, they're all fun. So, that's probably why Instagram is so addicting. They find addictive characteristics within the platform so that the user can have those same type of feels. I mean, it does. Like when you drop a post and you get 100 likes, you're like, oh yeah, I'm the man today. Right? So it's interesting how they started to own us that way.
They've also figured out that dopamine releases just by the scrolling motion of your finger.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking wild.
And that's why we scroll on Instagram, because it releases.
Dude, I have a hard time understanding when you say you can have your own Facebook, right? You can have, like, so are you just building your own site that people are coming to?
You go ahead.
So the way it works now is if you want to build a website, it's hosted in a server. Majority of the servers, Facebook, Google.
TonyPelayo.com.
Exactly. So that's hosted somewhere. That's hosted with Google probably. It could be hosted with someone else, but there's only a couple daddies. So a lot of them go to Google, or they can go to Facebook or Amazon. And that's where your platform is stored. So even though there's a third-party company that owns your platform, that built your website, or that hosted your website, it's still really owned by who servers it in. So it's like...
So like my website's built through GoDaddy, right? So like GoDaddy owns my website.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what servers GoDaddy uses, if they have their own or if they're on Google's or Amazon's or something. But essentially, they're just paying rent at servers that someone else owns, that someone else, if the right person could see everything that's going on inside there.
Right.
So if you're at Google and you wanted to see, let's say GoDaddy's all on Google and you're in Google, you can go into Google, and if I worked at Google and I knew what I was doing, I could go in and see the whole platform. I could open up, I could pull up all your information. Now it's very secure and frowned upon on doing, but this guy can go lift up your sheets, check under your underwear, and see what's going on your platform. So on something like Facebook, if it's hosted somewhere else, Facebook's not, but if it was, you could go in there and see everything.
Okay.
With on someone else's server. The way blockchain works is it's a bunch of servers put together. We're hosting, you're hosting, all these servers are hosting. Instead of it being locked down in one, it takes multiple servers to create the blockchain. So it's not all stored at one place. It's not all at Google's facility. It's not all at Facebook's facility. It's in all of us users' facility.
So like Amazon Web Services, right? That's like one of their major revenue streams now.
I think they got the FBI contract.
I don't know what they got, but they got. How about Jeff Bezos? How buff is that guy now?
I think he's up to the space right now, right?
Is he?
I don't know.
I think he took off. I don't know.
With all the TRT he's on, he's probably gonna get lats. Like he can just fly up into space. Like
Elon
that dude.
says his rocket's not designed too well. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Those guys are interesting. They have an interesting battle going on.
Well, when you have such a successful business and you got billions dollar, the earth no longer fun.
Yeah.
They want to go somewhere else. You guys are never able to reach. But I can. So that will be the mentality. Tony, you still have some years to go. When you reach to billion, multi-billion, you probably will have the same thing. I don't want to live in the earth. Damn, I want to go to the space. Find my own freaking star. Find my own Saturn or Mars.
I don't think they're gonna have Wi-Fi though, so I'm all set. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna go to Cabo. I'll just stay there. I'll send me a postcard from Mars though. When I think about you, Mr. Bryan, a lot of times I think about there's a saying that Elon Musk said when he was on Joe Rogan, and he said, "You don't want my brain. It's like rockets constantly exploding in my head." And that's probably how your brain works, huh?
I hate to say that, yes, but if nothing new to pop up in your head, probably gets very bored.
Yeah. I know for myself, like my head never stops. It could be 3 a.m. Last night I was creating a P&L at like 2:30 in the morning, and I think I stopped at 4 when my alarm rang. And do you ever get jealous of like the people who can just live, right? Like the people who can just accept it for what it is, whereas like your brain just never stops, right? Like for you, Nick, like when you're talking about earlier when you were just saying, hey, I was going from A to B to C, and now I'm in the propane, now I'm in the Web 3.0, and it's just like how do you guys manage that part of just your thought pattern?
I move and act kind of fast, and I kind of think I see things before they're coming. Not like I see far in the future, but I see things. I'm usually early on them, and sometimes I'm earlier than I should be. There's many vacations, many things I've missed out on, many things I could have done, and people call me all the time. What are you doing? I'm working. When are you going to take a day off? When are you going to take a week off? I'll take a week off when I take a week off, and I don't have to worry about taking a week off or a month off. So, I mean, the way I look at it, you put your time in early,
Yeah.
the later years come. And when I was 21, 22, 23, I didn't really feel it, but now I'm going on 32 and I'm feeling things are changing, and I can look back and see like oh, well, because I wasn't partying when I was 25 or something every single weekend. Don't get me wrong, I like to, but because I didn't go out every single weekend and it was only once a month or something, things look different now. I'm not stuck doing it every single weekend, or I'm not stuck in the same place.
Yeah. And we're in the same cohort. I just turned 32. And it definitely, when I look at the people in our age group, and it's like, the fuck are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or when they're out on Cabo or they're at a club and they got bottle service at 2 a.m. and I'm getting up to get my first workout of the day, and I'm like, it doesn't look like I work out. I work out a lot, but and I'm like, how do these motherfuckers how do they do this shit? Like, how do they allow themselves to spend $2,000 on a bottle in Vegas? Like, I could never. Not because I can't afford it. I can never fucking allow myself to do that.
Well, that's the power, I think, of technology and Instagram nowadays is we see things. I mean, even me, people might look at it and say like, oh, how's this guy doing this? But there's also sacrifices that are made elsewhere for other things to happen. Like personally, when I take the family out to dinner, I like to go to a nicer place. But all week long, we don't eat out. We don't eat at McDonald's. We don't go through no drive-thrus. But once or twice a month, we will go eat at a nice restaurant. And
I always wanted to go and like, I stole this from someone, but I said I want to be able to go to a restaurant and like not look at the menu.
Mhm.
That was always my goal. So when I finally, got to that point, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to all the major steakhouses. So I hit Ruth Chris, Fleming's, Morton's, and Mastro's.
Shit doesn't sound like you guys regret at all.
No, it's not regret, but there's moments where you're like,
or envy someone else.
no, there's just moments where it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I see people having fun, right? Like
every weekend.
and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's real good.